Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another special edition of East Meets West, ladies and gentlemen. And on today's episode, we have the CBS's own Bay Area sports reporter for the Valkyries, for the 49ers, for the Warriors. Like, what don't you do? It's Matt Lively, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to East Meets West, brother. How you doing today?
I'm doing so well. Thank you both for having me. This is a long time coming. I'm just glad that we were finally able to carve something out and I was able to jump on with both of you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
So, go ahead, Con. You
Oh
got
no,
something to
I'm
add?
just gonna reiterate. Before we hit record, I was telling Matt, I see him on TV every day, and I don't mean that in a bad way. When MJ says he covers all Bay Area sports, he's
Yes.
everywhere. I don't know how you do
Yeah.
it. So all the more, really appreciative that you took the time to, kind of hang out and talk some Valkyries hoops with us.
Definitely. I would say my airline miles are racking up and I put a lot of miles on my car. So everywhere all at once.
There you
Yes, sir.
go.
Are
There
you
go.
en route to something dealing with the 49ers? I know it's not basketball related, but you traveling with the team?
Right now, I'm home in San
Okay.
Francisco, which is great. And they're home on Sunday and then
Okay.
they're in LA and Tampa. So I'll follow them there. So right
That's
back to
cool.
traveling after a
That's
little
so cool.
downtime once the Valkyrie season ended.
That's like the coolest job on the planet, bro.
It's fun. Hey, no complaints. You'll never hear me complain about the job. It's pretty sweet.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Con. Jump in.
Well,
Jump
yeah,
in.
speaking of this sweet job, I'm just really curious. For example, I'm sure when you first, the first year you were on, reporting on the sidelines for the Niners, it's exciting, a storied franchise. But that's the thing, right? They're one of the oldest franchises in the NFL. And on the flip side, here you are covering the WNBA for a team
Mhm.
that nobody knew what was going to happen, right? An expansion team. Just going into the season when they said, "Hey, Matt, we would love for you to be the sideline reporter for the Valkyries." You're literally like the voice, like a steward almost, for the
Right.
fans. What was it like, initially, when you were assigned this job?
That's a really good question. And I'll even go back a little bit. When I got the job, when this job at CBS in San Francisco kind of came to me and I was approached about it and I was still in the interviewing process, I thought what you just said, I want to cover a storied franchise like
Yeah.
the San Francisco 49ers. Like that is there's nothing cooler than that. I want to cover the 49ers. And then in your first year, you're looking around and these other beat reporters have been covering this team for like 30 years and
Right.
you're just the new guy on the block that nobody cares about, which is fine. You got to pay your dues. And it was a tough transition into that role
Yeah.
of covering this team. And so in my head though, I was like, well, I want to cover a storied franchise. And then the Valkyries come to town. And we didn't know that we were going to have the contract to broadcast their games, but I thought, okay, I definitely want to be involved somehow. This is cool. There's going to be a new team. It's the polar opposite of the 49ers or the Warriors or the Giants, like these
Right.
uber successful teams that have all this history. It's a blank canvas, really.
Mhm.
And once we got the contract for it, and once they laid out what my role was going to be, I bought into that, and it was like, okay, this is the first time. This is the first broadcast team they're going to have. First announcers, first sideline, first pre and post game, and I think it was cool that I don't want to say we're a part of the history of this team. Like we play such a minor role. We play such a minimal side role to what is actually happening on the court and the players and the coaches. But when I think about the success they had in year one and all the great stories we got to tell and the athletes that we got to cover who were these six women of the year, these
Right.
bench players that became these all-stars, I
Mhm.
think it's really cool that something that we thought was going to be, sort of minor first year for a WNBA franchise into truly taking over the Bay, because that's what the Valkyries did. They took over the Bay, whether it was at Chase Center or SAP Center. I'm pretty honored to have played a really small role in that.
Nice. Okay. I have a question then. I noticed the interview that you did do with Veronica Burton
Mhm.
after she had won MIP. Did you come up with that? Like where you had her watching her father like congratulate her? Because that was
No,
actually pretty cool. Like I love that segment, bro. Like I love that.
I can't, it's funny. so much of what goes on that is shown on TV, there's a really hardworking group behind the scenes that don't ever really get the credit. And
let's credit them now.
and let's credit them now. Like
Yeah.
our executive producer, Brian Day, he reached out to me and he said, hey, we're going to have a video to show Veronica. And Steve Burton is a legend in Boston. He works for WBZ, which is the CBS affiliate in Boston.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, when Rafael Devers gets traded to the Giants, I jumped on CBS Boston and being interviewed by Steve Burton. And before we went live, I said, hey, by the way, I cover your daughter. Like, what are the odds here? It's such a small world. And they were able to get in contact with Steve, who was, really nice and just all game to do this video for Veronica. And what's funny is I was actually pretty nervous to show her because you have to think of the moment here. Yeah. It's win or go home. Mm-hmm. You're playing in this bizarre arena. This is the biggest game of the season. Like nothing else matters but this game. And I thought, I don't want to throw her off. I don't want to show her this video that might make her emotional, that might get in her head. But I think it really did the opposite of that. And she was so thankful to see it. And her reaction said it all. Yeah. And I mean, hey, again, I was just kind of honored to be the one that had it on my phone and I got to hold it and show it and ask the follow-up question, what does your family mean to you? And, but there so much of what went on with the Valkyrie shows and the broadcast. I mean, it's dozens and dozens, if not at least 100 people who make decisions into what's the broadcast look like? What do the pregame shows look like? What's going in our shows? All these things that make the product get on the air. I just happen to be the guy that stands there for a few minutes in front of the camera. But I certainly can't take credit for that video, but I'm pretty privileged to have been the one that got to show her.
Yeah, that was nice, bro.
It was cool. I mean, I'll say this about the Valkyries. So many of their players are very vulnerable and open in their interviews, and you don't often get that in professional sports. And that was a moment. I'd be pressed to say I could find an NFL player who I could pull aside an hour before a playoff game and go, hey, I want to show you this thing on my phone. Most NFL guys, there'd be security on me dragging me away.
Or they'll probably mush you like, move.
That's right. So it speaks a lot to the Valkyries and the character of their players that I'm even allowed to be in that position.
Yes, sir.
Well, there you go. Again, that was one of, I think, many great interviews that you were a part of or that you conducted, that, again, resonated not just with the players, or the coaches, but us as fans. Just not really putting you on the spot, right? There's no wrong answer. But for you, who was one of your favorite either players or coaches to interview? I mean, I know Natalie is it's seemingly like every day she has a great quote, you know, but is there anyone that stood out that you just always particularly enjoyed, kind of just necessarily conversing with?
Definitely. I mean, I'll start with, I enjoyed interviewing everybody. But some of the players that I really enjoyed talking with, Kate Martin was great. Kate was always a great sport, and she's got a great personality, and that comes across on television, obviously. I think it's one of the reasons why her brand is so popular and why she's so popular just as a person. And so I always enjoyed interviewing Kate. I got to interview her family. They came to a game in Minnesota, and so I got to know her family a little bit, which was really cool. Pip Hayes just always brought so much energy. And she was funny, and we could joke back and forth. I'm from Florida, and there's a grocery store called Publix in Florida. And you go get pub subs. And so, we were in Atlanta where Kip lives in the off season. And I joked at the end of our interview, I said, wouldn't you just love to get out of here right now and grab a pub sub? And she was like, how do you know what a pub sub is? And we aired that, and it was really fun. And one time I had her rank, I made different shoes for her to rank. And
I saw,
she roasted my outfit as she should, because I have no real taste when it comes to shoes. And she's like, man, you're basic. And I'm like, all right, Tim, you got to help me out.
Get some Cole Hans. Get some Cole Hans.
Yeah, exactly. I just got to stay in my lane, really. And so, I mean, Kate and Tip were great, but I could go down the list really and tell you why every player on that roster was fun to talk to for their own different reasons. And some interviews are harder than others. And I would say this was a team that was really gracious. Like, I was traveling on the road, and they could lose a heartbreaking game. And here's Mo Billings, here's Veronica Burton. Like, as they're walking off the court, And I always made the joke like, man, I probably have the least likable face in that locker room because there's some losses and I'm the first one they have to see. I'm like, so
Right.
what went wrong in the fourth, and I know in their position, that is not an easy thing to do. And so I just, abundance of thanks that they even took the time to talk to me after wins and losses and things like that.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Okay, well, do you have a like personal favorite moment that involved you in a player or a coach outside of interviews, like something that might be, off the camera, off the microphone, off a hot mic,
I mean,
anything?
it could be on camera too.
Or
it's
it
like
could be on
something.
camera because I
Yeah,
know we've been focusing on camera, a lot of on camera
because
stuff outside of you
as
walking in the
fans,
locker
it seemed
room.
like every night there was like, even as you said, even if it was in a loss, there was like some special moment, right? Like just something like
yeah,
really unique. And I know it's a season of first, but it's like, wow. So I was just, we were kind of wondering if there's anything that like kind of stood out for you.
I would say, a moment that I had, not even with players, it was actually Zena Kayla and I. We brought Zena usually is our studio analyst, and
Mhm.
she came to the the playoff clincher,
Okay.
and she and I were going to be on the court if the Valkyries won against the Wings. And as you remember, that game it started horribly for the Valkyries. I want to say Dallas
Mhm.
went on a 10-0 run.
Yeah.
And even at the end, like they're fouling. It's a 2-point game. Dallas goes down, hits a three. They fouled Veronica again. Dallas hits a bucket. And Zena and I were just standing in the tunnel because if they won, we had to get out onto the floor. And I just remember her and I were like grabbing each other almost like, oh my God, this game is nuts. And we're below all the fans, and you're just hearing how loud it was. And I thought,
Mhm.
man, like this is so cool. Like I think that's when I was like, this is a pretty cool this, year
Mhm.
one,
Mhm.
this is the coolest job I could have. And so I love that moment. On camera, it's hard for me. It's the same game. It's hard for me to shy away from the Janelle Salaün. Let's go.
Yeah.
She
My girl.
she we don't talk to Janelle pregame because she's so locked in, which
Okay.
says a lot about the kind of player she is. Like she really just kind of has like a killer mentality. And so she's one of those players who's like, I don't really want to talk. I don't want to do interviews before the game. And I totally respect that. Like everybody has their process
Right.
and hers is locking in. So we would really only talk to Janelle post game. And she obviously has a great personality and she has a lot of energy and she's funny. But I did not expect her to basically like grabbing the mic out of my hand and
Mhm.
screaming, "Let's go!" And since then, that clip has ended up on Sports Center and in the WNBA Playoff Open and stuff like that. And I think like for me, if there's one moment that defines the inaugural season,
Mhm.
it's that. And so I think that's probably my favorite on camera moment that I got to share.
Okay, go
That's
ahead, Tom.
terrific. That's
Yes.
terrific. Like,
Mhm.
if you don't mind, I actually have we have a favorite moment, and we kind of wanted your take on this, maybe like your reaction that didn't make it on camera. But um this one went viral because it was, I believe, the game. I want to say maybe like the second time we played Connecticut at home.
Mhm.
We blew them out, ended up being like a 20 plus point win. And after the game, you did your post game interview with Tip Hayes, and you informed her that she had passed Cheryl Swoops on the all-time scoring list. Right
Yeah.
now, it went viral because
It's
of
a
her
big deal.
reaction. Right, like you know,
Yeah.
right? It became like a meme. It became a GIF. But for me, something stood out that happened immediately after when you also reminded her, or didn't remind, you reminded the audience that that was the debut of Violet the Raven,
Yeah.
right? And Tip goes, oh, Violet, you're so cute. Hey, girl. And then she immediately corrects herself. Well, not corrects herself, just she immediately checks herself and says, actually, you're so cute, them, they. And going back to what you were saying, like to me, I don't know if maybe like I'm in my feelings, but as you were saying, no, like this team didn't just embrace the Bay Area culture. It seemed like from top to bottom, like Ohema, Natalie, the players, they embodied the Bay Area culture.
Mhm.
Like when you were around Tip in that moment and other moments like that, just what is kind of going through your head? Like, is this just something that they actually think about? Or is like, it's just become second nature to them?
Right.
They're genuine. I mean, with that instance, like genuinely, she was like, "Well, I want to make sure I get the mascot's pronouns right." And I mean, like that shows you just like what a good person Tip
Right.
Hayes is.
Yeah.
Right.
I would say, I mean, this team, from what I talked to them about off camera specifically, they love the Bay Area. Like,
Okay.
and I almost I made an analogy for some of the players, and they didn't say it was quite like this, but I kind of compared it to first year. None of you have played with each other on this team.
Yeah.
It felt like you were getting dropped into San Francisco for summer camp,
Right.
and like San Francisco's really far from the rest of from the rest of the WNBA teams. So most of these players, they had no family out here. A lot of them had not really been here for much, and if they did, it was years ago.
Yeah.
And so I think what Tip and this team did with the Bay Area is, one, they adopted each other as like this big family. So this team, they told me they hang out more than any other WNBA team does. Like most WNBA team, like the teams have friendships, but it's not like you're my best friend, we're hanging out after practice before games. That's truly how this team was.
Okay.
And with that, they wanted to get out and see the city and experience everything that San Francisco has to offer. I mean, we are a tourist destination, and
Yeah.
they only
Yeah.
got to live here for 5 or 6 months. So they were like, we're going to see the Bay Area as a whole. And they
Mhm.
did. And so I think like in that moment, like it shows you, one, Tip's just a genuine person, but like two, they love the city. They love the Bay Area. They love the fans. I joke Tip Hayes was the first one. She's like, yeah, I want to go on a Alcatraz tour.
Yeah.
And so like that was like day one of meeting Tiff. She's like, I want to go on an Alcatraz tour. And so they really embodied the Bay Area as a whole. And I think that's why the fans love them so much.
Yeah.
I think the Bay Area is beautiful. Like what makes me when I think of the Bay Area, I think of the movie Sweet November with Keanu Reeves and Charlize Theron. No,
Okay.
for real, because those were some
Yeah.
of the most beautiful images. It showed me San Francisco. You know what I mean? Because I've never been, and it's like I have to go there. But yeah, I'm sure
No.
they needed to experience it that way too.
That's a unique
Totally.
answer. Most people that aren't from California or from the Bay Area, they always tell me the movie they associate with the Bay Area is The Rock. Right?
Mm.
So Alcatraz,
Yeah.
the streetcar chase and everything.
Yeah.
But you actually you mentioned Janelle as being a great interview. Carla, I mean, you see
Carla
like
Leite.
both her maturation as a player and again just her personality being a lot more comfortable like in her own skin and not necessarily being as shy. I saw today, with her her club in Spain, she did an entire interview in English. To be clear, Michael and I like Janelle and Carla. We like them both a lot. But settle something for me or for us.
Uh-oh. I think I know where this going.
Yeah. We've gone back and forth about this. Like, who
Get 'em,
do
Matt.
you think?
Get them.
Who do you think amongst the two of them, if one of them was to kind of emerge as, say, like more of like an alpha role, in the next, not like immediately, in the next season or two, we'd like to think they're going to be with the team for a while.
Yeah.
Who would you pick?
I mean, from that standpoint, you would probably say Janelle. That's the player that Natalie, her and Chechi were the two players at the very end where you'd go, okay, you can get the game-winning shot.
Yeah.
And that's not to say anything bad about Carla. Carla's maturation was incredible. I think the fact that she took English lessons says a lot about the person she is, so that she could relate to her teammates more and speak the language in this country. Like, I have the utmost respect for that. But from a basketball standpoint, I would say Janelle. Like, she was a starter. She was the one when it came to the fourth quarter. It was like you want to see Janelle Salaün grow into the player who can take over a game in the fourth, because I think that's what was missing from this roster this year. And I think that's when they got to the playoffs and they were taking on a team like the Lynx, that was the clear difference. The Lynx had, Natalie said it, they have 5 players who can basically do that. Like any of their starters can kind of take over a game at any time. And you can get those flashes from like a Veronica Burton. And when Tip was healthy, Tip was able to do that as well.
Yeah.
And you need those players, and I think Janelle grows into that role with more experience.
Okay. I had a random question, and it could just be like real quick. When KT went down, what was because usually when people get injured, it's just like, oh, that little sound effect that everybody plays. But what was the like temperature around just the team or just the fans? Like, was it really just the team? Like, were they down or were they like, next man up? Let's get it. We got
what was interesting is she went down to practice that the media wasn't at. And so we didn't get to see that in person. And I mean, really the way I found out was just, hey, Kayla Thornton is having surgery on a knee injury. And so immediately I'm texting people and I'm like, what just happened? She was just at the All-Star game balling out.
Right.
And now she's down. And there was definitely like a somberness in the beginning, but I almost compare it to like Nick Bosa just tore his ACL and is out for the season. And we talked to Fred Warner yesterday about it. And I think I'm going to, relate the two things here is like, you can be sad, but you also have to just move forward.
Right.
Like it doesn't help your team to dwell on an injury because at the end of the day, like you still like Fred Warner's like, we have to play a game on Sunday. So, and Nick's not going to be out there. So like, we can be bummed for him and bummed that we lost one of our best players. And the Valkyries were bummed that they lost their best player, but what a job they did stepping up and continuing to win and continue to be successful. And like Kyla Charles comes in and balls out. And you just look at all those different players that came in like a revolving door on this team and like continued to produce. And I asked the question because KT, which was confirmed to me after the fact, like she was not traveling at all because with rehab, you want to make sure you're in the best environment for your rehab. And I'm sure that killed her to not be able to travel. And Natalie Nakase is really anti injured players traveling. She doesn't want them to get dehydrated on flights. She wants them to get their rest. She wants them to stay to their program, their regiments. But when I saw KT sitting on the bench during pregame warmups in Minnesota for game one, I was like, damn. And I asked, I said, man, like, what does that mean to have KT here? And Natalie Nakase said, her response to me was, we all went to dinner last night and KT was just throwing joke after joke after joke out. And she's this light, like she brings this energy and this light. And so, I mean, there was definitely a somberness, but I know they were so happy to get her back at the end on the bench and things like that. And I'm hoping that her recovery is just going well.
Yes, sir.
Praying. Speedy and successful recovery. Yeah, no.
And come back. Please come back.
As you said, we loved KT. I think everybody did. I don't think there's a single person that wouldn't want her back. But as we as we're now turning to the off season, again, naturally, a lot of fans, they are excited for what this team can continue to build. Whether that's through the draft or both through the draft and free agency. But there's one player who you spent some time with, who a lot of fans are very excited about. That's Justė Jocytė, right? Hey. You did a great segment, but is there any kind of additional insight, maybe as to Justė, like kind of the person, her mindset, her temperament, that she that fans maybe don't know about her, can look forward to, given that by all accounts, she will be joining the team next season?
I mean, what was cool about that interview was I think it was scheduled. I'm going to make a time up here. Like it was scheduled for like 4:00. And when you schedule an interview with a player at 4:00, usually they roll in like between anywhere from like 4 to 4:05. Like you're never walking in and they're there. I walked in at 3:45. I wanted us to get our camera set up, get the lights going. She was in there and had been waiting for me 15 minutes early. And her dad was there and we talked for like 10-15 minutes off camera, and she was telling me she was just so excited to be in the Bay Area. She went to go see the bridge, but Carl the Fog had come in and she didn't get to see the bridge, and they were seeing all the sights and stuff. And she is young, and it's impressive how good she is for her age. And when you dig into her history, like she became a professional. She's one of the youngest professionals in women's basketball history. She's serious about basketball, and like that's her life. And I think as I got to know Natalie better, Natalie Nakase is obsessed with basketball.
Yeah, you could tell.
I mean, like I would, like the Valkyries were a big part of my job, but I have like a lot of different teams I cover, as you guys know, and I'm traveling and doing things, and I would miss a game and Natalie'd be like, "Where were you?" And I was like, "Oh, like the, like the 49ers played last night." Like, I was covering them, and she's like, well, I don't get a day off. And like,
Ooh.
she's yanking my chain a little bit, but like, that's how
Yeah.
Natalie is. She's like, well, I'm here. You should be like, that's that kind of, that's who Natalie is. And so I think JJ is going to be really similar to that. Like, I'm here for basketball, and I think it's going to be a really good fit.
Cannot wait. I think we cannot wait. We cannot wait. Well,
Okay,
before
I was about to say before we wrap, I don't know how you want to introduce the book, but go for it.
Oh yeah, again, given that this is kind of like our Valkyries inaugural season retrospective, just kind of like in high school and yearbooks, right? Okay, I don't know if they still do this in yearbooks. You know how it is, like most likely.
I'm sure it's on your phone now.
It's just on
your
phone
like
most likely, they would vote the students most likely to become a president, right? Things like that.
Yeah.
So this is like a rapid fire segment, before you
go.
go.
I like this.
And if you could name a player for each kind of thing we have here,
all right.
There's technically no wrong answer, I guess, right?
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. So we took out the most likely to be a professional athlete because, all right.
We're all that.
But how about this one? Most likely to win a Nobel Prize.
Timmy Fagbenle.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we had more time, I would have questions.
See, that is a great one. That's a great one. That's a great one.
We gotta get you back on.
Because actually, the next one I would have picked Timmy for. Most likely to run for office.
Oh wow. Veronica Burton.
Nice.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, just like the consummate professional, very PR trained, and we'll get work done.
Okay,
that is
how
true.
about
and she's very efficient. Very
That's
efficient.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
And she looks the part too. You know what I mean? No, usually when I see her hair is always done a certain type of way. Like if she just threw on something like a button up or a suit or something like that, she looks the part.
Ready to go.
You know what I mean? So what about most likely to invent a new technology?
Invent like a new technology.
New technology, new social media platform,
right?
Whatever.
Leticia Me here.
Actually,
she's great on TikTok. She's got a funny TikTok. She's got a great personality. She could create the new social media.
Nice.
Yeah, I was about to say, earlier, you're talking about how they are truly friends on and off the court. Like they literally went to Cancun together.
Right. Yeah, they did. I've seen pictures of that too.
And I knew that because of Letitia's TikTok or IG.
Talking about 1, 2, 3 Cancun.
Yeah.
Making fun of the NBA going fishing.
Yeah. Okay, I have a couple more here, and then we'll let you go. MJ,
go for it. No, go ahead. I did mine last. Go ahead.
This one will bring it back actually to actually it doesn't necessarily have to be the hardwood. I guess they're proficient in other sports. Future coach.
Oh wow, that's
probably Tip.
It's probably Tip.
Yeah.
Probably Tip. I was thinking I had another person in mind, but I think I'm going to answer them for something else. I have a feeling I'll probably answer them for something else. So probably Tip Hayes. Just great veteran, knows the game inside and out. She has a coaching or a basketball academy in Atlanta. So Tip could definitely fit into that role.
I just learned something. Okay.
There you go.
What about for fun, best dance moves?
Oh, Kate Martin.
Nice.
Ooh, okay. She really gets into it.
She did the handshakes with me and everything, and Kate knows all the moves. So definitely Kate Martin. She's also she wouldn't be afraid to just put herself out there and dance. So
yeah, those pregame circles, the go Valk. She really breaks it down in those. Yeah. This one, future CEO.
Monique Billings.
Yeah.
Nice.
Monique, but that's the other one that I was thinking about for coach. Monique Billings for sure. She's so put together, so professional. She just posted on Instagram today. She just bought her 3rd Airbnb property. She's not even 30 yet. Yeah. Mo Billings. She'll be successful with whatever she wants to do. She's a great broadcaster as well, by the way. So yeah, Mo
she
is
did
awesome.
The Warriors game. Yeah.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did when they did the all-female broadcast, and she crushed it.
Yeah.
We're getting insight here.
Yeah.
Academies and future projects. Let's go.
Two more. Okay, go ahead.
I'll throw one out there. Dynamic duo. Who's the best friends? Who's
the
detachable?
Easy.
Something like that.
Kate Martin, Caitlin Shin.
Okay.
Two best friends on the team. Easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was nice to see Caitlin Chin in that photo too, like the Cancun photo.
Yeah. No, they're
like,
best. They're
cool.
like best friends. That's confirmed.
Okay.
And then this one, if you're only picking one, this could be tough, but we'll end out here on a high note. Miss Congeniality.
Nice.
Like in what way?
Probably, I don't know, right? Very like benevolent and, probably, kind of like, I don't know, kind, altruistic to everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, altruistic. I love that word.
Man, that is such a good one. Can I reuse a player? Can I not reuse a player?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, of course.
It's Veronica Burton.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, to the
in
point
my
where
opinion,
like Natalie Nicole wanted her to like MF people, and she was like, "I don't lead like that. Like I use kind words to lead. Like that's who she is."
What, the teammates?
Yeah,
like get your
like,
MFing.
Yeah, like because Natalie Nicole, like that's the point guard she was like, "I'm gonna MF you if you're messing up," and Veronica's like, "I don't want to do that."
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, tell you, man, Natalie is like, her quotes are gold.
Yeah.
She makes your job so much simpler.
Oh yeah, she does. I told her that at the end of the season. I said, just so you know, like of all head coaches in the Bay Area, you make it pretty easy to give me a soundbite.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, real quick, because I know we told you, but I was having this discussion with some other people in the Bay Area media, and I just kind of wanted your input, since again you talk to Natalie so often. Like someone told me that, like, hey, right, we're not comparing her to Bill Walsh yet or anything like that, or Steve Kerr, but just Natalie, she seems to exude not just like this confidence, but there's something about her where like you really feel like she could be one of like the all-time Bay Area coaches. Like there's something about her where like she'll completely resonate, with this community, this fan base for a long time. Do you get that feeling as well?
I can agree with that. I mean, look at what she did in year one. I also look at who she surrounded herself with, like Ty Lue, Doc Rivers, Joe Mazzulla, Steve Kerr. When I was on the road, like DeAndre Jordan came to a game. Like, that's like she has surrounded herself with good people. She's clearly had a lasting impact on players, whether they were NBA or WNBA.
Right.
Like Asia Wilson, like was quoted as saying, like, "That's my dog." So I think like there's such a respect for Natalie Nicole. She'll be really successful.
Nice. I like that answer.
Cannot wait for year two.
She just exudes basketball. Like when I look at her, like what you mentioned earlier, like you can tell she's a basketball head. You know what I mean? So,
she's obsessed. Like it's
she's fully obsessed. I love the basketball obsessors. We see eye to eye because I love basketball. But we're not gonna hold you up. We would love to have you again, but let everybody know where they can find you at. Of course, CBS Bay Area.
Yep. And it's easy. Find me on any and all social media platforms at Matt B. Lively.
There you go.
You got any upcoming projects outside of covering the teams?
It's all 49ers right now.
I'm seeing him on Sunday, man. Come on.
Yeah, it's all 49ers.
We're going 4-0, baby.
That's right. Nice. All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate you having me on.
Yes, we appreciate you too, bro. And for everybody that's listening, make sure y'all go follow. Make sure y'all consume everything, Matt, especially if you're in the Bay Area, because you have the local broadcast. I'm gonna have to find you
That's right.
I'm all the way in dang on Detroit, so we'll figure it out. But I'll stream.
Perfect.
And
there you go.
Yeah, we appreciate you for your time, and thanks, Matt.
All right, thanks, guys.
Take care.